Sup guys, it's Melon here. Yep, we're back at it again, and this time we're doing a new unit review. So for those of you guys who don't know, I'm pretty sure you guys all know already. Solitaria, the new ML5 is coming out next week. And for sure, everybody thinks she's waifu material, but we'll see how good is she really. Alright, we're just gonna go off with her S3 animation. Let's enjoy. Not bad, right? So, first off, when we saw this unit, I kind of had the vibe of her being like a princess, right? She kind of has that Super Mario vibe, and I assumed it right away. I feel like she's kind of like a princess that needs saving or something, right? And I think I nailed it on the bat. Smilegate had the same direction. I think she was a princess just waiting to be saved. And I don't know how I did it, but maybe Smilegate is just ripping off the Super Mario videos. Just kidding, guys. Smilegate wouldn't do that. Alright, we're just gonna go straight to our base stats. So we're gonna look at our stats, we're gonna look at her skills, and just see why we would pull it and why other reasons you would need her, right? So first off, she's a light mage, meaning that anything she does, she won't miss. Her basic skills won't miss, right? But except for on Rylan, what sorts? 115 speed, not the fastest unit. Let's say most of your typical like speed units, Fairy Tail, Tenuya, I think it's 114 speed. So most of your mages are around like 115er speed. You're not 122 like Cerise, or you're not like 126 like Acid. So it might be hard to speed contest over. But overall, her speed isn't bad, right? AoE imprint is health percent, pretty good. Imprint concentration is effectiveness. So you could just see it right off the bat. She has some AoE skills or some like debuff skills going on, right? Or this whole effectiveness going on. But unfortunately, she has a lot of effectiveness and effect resist in her set. So it means that she can't really do a lot of damage, and she will also be more of a support unit. So first off, let's just go into her skills and explain why she will be more of a support unit. So this is her S2. This S2 is what makes her good. This is the whole thing about her kit. So if you're really gonna decide to pull this unit or not, let's really explain why I say this is what makes the unit. So her S2, I want to go home. Decrease the amount of focus gained by enemy by 100%. Yes, 100%. When the caster is buffed at the start of the turn, has a 70% chance to grant Daydream for 1 turn. And 100% chance when it's maxed out. So what Daydream is when attacking, inflicts a random debuff on the target for 1 turn. Daydream cannot be dispelled. It does not mean that Daydream the debuff cannot be dispelled, but Daydream the buff she gets right here cannot be dispelled. So it's kind of like a Lancia's Mind Eye. You cannot dispel that debuff, but her debuff that she lands can be debuffed. But keep in mind, guys, she doesn't have any insane debuffs like decrease attack, decrease hit chance, decrease speed. Cannot buff. There's no defense break, there's no silence, there's no sleep, right? Just keep that in mind. Also, why I said this makes her whole kit is her decrease the amount of focus gained by enemy by 100%. So you know what this means? It means that your SSB will never get focus. Your 0 speed SSB will never S2. This 100% kills your SSB. The only reason you ever play SSB is so that she consistently slaps back, right? She does damage over time and eventually racks up, right? And it's a nuisance. Because your SSB cannot gain focus, your SSB is just there like a sitting duck. And she's only get 1 turn only and never even be a threat. Like 100%, it's insane. I kind of wish it was kind of lowered, but lowering it might be hard to like balance out because you can't really cut one focus in half, right? Our focus only is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We don't really have an even number, like half a number. But in general, 100% just kills the unit. Another unit that this kills, and I'm really hating it for this, is that it kills Rowlet. You guys know me, right? I'm a Rowlet expertise. I'm certified Rowlet main. I have like 3 degrees in playing Rowlet, and this girl just kills it. Like what is Melona without Rowlet? But yeah, explaining why this kills Rowlet is that so once Rowlet gets 5 focus, Rowlet counters, right? So because he cannot get focus, his auto attacks won't get focus. When people hit him and a miss doesn't get focus, that means you could continuously whack at Rowlet and not worry about getting counter, right? So Rowlet will eventually die because you have no fear of the counter. Even if you miss 20 times in a row, Rowlet will sooner or eventually die, right? And that means that Rowlet just becomes a worse Merciless, right? In a sense. He does have a nice S3, but the fact that you just basically don't like, maybe not a worse Merciless, but she just basically becomes like a second Merciless. your dodge is just a dodge and you have no extra benefits about it. So it does suck that way. And no guys, it's focused, right? It's not like fighting spirit, it's not like energy, it's not like rage, right? It's only for focus characters. So from top of my head, I think it's green violet, which is already dead, SSB, and violet right now. I think those are the 3 main targets that focus have. I can't really think of anything. If I remember anything during the video, I'll mention it too. But yeah, so I don't want to go home. Something that really creeps my playstyle. I use SSB a lot, I use violet a lot, and it just really sucks, right? Oh yeah, okay. Also, chat helped me out here. Another big one that this really affects is RB. So how this affects RB is when RB revives, he gets focus, right? And that focus does an extra 20% damage on his S3. So now RB will revive and his S3 won't be as threatening, right? So his S3 will no longer have that extra animation effect, right? So RB won't have focus when he revives. It does make him a bit weaker, but this doesn't really stop RB. There's Yuna, but Yuna is, I heard counter Yuna has been recently been developing in the meta. So this may be a big deal as well, right? Because the reason for counter Yuna is you could build that S3 fast, and you could S3 gives you extra turn for Yuna, right? So you just do a lot of AoE damage. Another one is Amiru, but Amiru is less of a counter because Amiru mostly is there for the seals, right? The seals and the blinds. So the S3 is not really necessary on Amiru, so just keep that in mind. I'm not too sure about Dark Horse, but Dark Horse, screw that guy, right? If you play Dark Horse, you deserve to be. You don't deserve to win this one. Just kidding, guys. I'm a born Dark Horse hitter. Alright, let's move on to our next skill. Let's see. Give me 1 sec, guys. I'm just moving on. Damn, they talked about this one a lot. Alright, so this is our S3. Boom, Starlight Fall. So the animation we saw at the start of the video is her S3, right? It was pretty not bad, right? It looked kind of cool. It seemed like she had the ML Edda vibe. People were speculating this is ML Edda. People were thinking that we could use Edda to imprint her. Well, I'm not too sure about that, right? There's no wording that says ML Edda, and I was like, alright, let's not really assume anything until like she's released, right? We really know the full information, so we're not gonna say that you could use Edda imprints for this. But people are saving up imprints for it, or saving up dupes for it. Okay, boom, Starlight Fall. Decrease the enemy buffs by durations by 1 turn before attacking with Starlight stunning for 1 turn, before decreasing combat readiness by 30%, and grant stealth to the user for 2 turns. And when you mull it, you get 1 turn cooldown and just extra damage. So the combat readiness is pretty nice. But no, this guys, it's not an AoE skill, it's only a single target still. So what people thought when we first saw the video was that it was an AoE skill, and it'll be busted if it is, but it was just for 1 unit, right? So this was a theory where you could build her a bit fast, so that she could take turn 1 and just like stun something. So at first she'll strip for 1 turn, then she'll stun and push them back by 30%, right? Just in theory, that's what it is. And she gets stealth for 2 turns. So in general, it sounds like she'd be a nice speed contester, but in theory, you don't really want to play the speed. So a good example of how you would play this unit would be you play her like Dizzy in the past. When Dizzy was played in Season 2, not counter Dizzy, but like just in general, you're extremely tanky and you could like take hits, so you consistently put pressure, right? If at least you're alive and your S2 is active, you do your job, right? So as long as you're alive, it's fine. At the same time, you will get this insane S3 which locks down a unit, right? And the cooldown isn't long, right? So if you get 1 turn cooldown, it should be 3 turns, right? And her soulborn effect is extend the duration of buffs granted to the caster by 1 turn and gets caster an extra turn. That means she could really rotate her S3 extremely fast, right? The fact that she's able to get her another cooldown and just like rotate extremely quickly means that as long as she lives, she'll get multiple S3s off, right? So in my opinion, the best way and the most maybe not most recommended, this is just my opinion, you should build her a bit tanky, right? Even though she does have stealth, the fact that she can never die, even AoEs won't hurt her, she'll consistently put pressure on the team just by having her S2 up, and her S3 is a bonus which locks down a unit, right? She'll consistently get this S3 on multiple units, let's say, throughout the fight, and as long as you bring her as a counter pick, right, to serve her purpose, to stop SSB, to stop Rowlet, even to stop as the RB, she does a decent job at it, right? She is a hard counter, and you must kind of like in a panic in a certain way. So in general, S3 is just a bonus on the unit. The unit is just for the S2, and S3 is a bonus. I don't really recommend building it super fast, because it could be an issue if you relied on her S2 and she somewhat dies all of a sudden. So in theory, if she's tanky and she's in stealth, no one can really kill her, right? If she's squishy in stealth, she could die and your S2 could be gone and the riot could pop off all of a sudden. Alright, let's go to the S1 now. Let's see, where's the S1? So our S1, pew pew pew. Attack the enemy with magic for a 25% chance to stun for 1 turn. When used on the caster's turn, pew 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 becomes an attack that targets all enemies. The change attack does not trigger on a dual attack. So in theory, this is like a Dizzy S1, but you just need a buff on you, right? And most likely you're gonna have a buff because of her S2. Her S2 gives her a buff. But in theory, you're always gonna be AoEing on your S1, and your AoE has a 25% chance to stun. You don't need to mull it, so it's kind of nuts. Imagine if she had like Abyssal or something, or Violin, she'd be like a second pair of Dizzy, right? But the fact that Dizzy can't be used right now because you don't really need Dizzy for anything right now. Debuffs are hard to land, but you don't need Solitaria for debuffs, right? You bring Solitaria just for the lockdown on SSB for Raleigh. So the fact that she has this extra S1 just to help stun and just like strip every unit. Let's say there's that Raleigh, right? You strip his evasion, he's still not gonna counter. The SSB, you strip the immunity, now you can land debuffs, you can stun her. This in general, she's a very versatile and just like support unit. This is why I say she's kind of like Dizzy, but Dizzy can't be used right now because she doesn't really bring passive or anything special to the team, right? Yes, she has a lot of debuffs, but you need something unique for like a person, like for a reason to pick her, right? And Solitaria does have that uniqueness in her S2. This is why I think people are asking how good will she be? She will be good, she's bad, will she change the meta? She will not change the meta. She is just a really good counter pick. So in theory, you pick her usually last when they pick a Raleigh early or they have a SSB. So now, like, let's say they pick SSB, right? All of a sudden you pick Rowana and Solitaria. They're screwed. The SSB is a sitting duck. There's nothing they can do. They have to ban Rowana, and if they leave Solitaria in, Solitaria is gonna lock them down. But remember, you can't really bring this girl into every type of team. Like, let's say you give them the ML crowd too. Now it becomes a bit iffy, right? But at the same time, you could also lock down the ML crowd. So who knows? You just gotta be a bit faster. Maybe you need to be a bit faster for Emerald Crowds to lock him down. If you're a bit faster than Emerald Crowds, this unit could be extremely scary. So maybe a 240 speed on like a bit tankier build, that could be quite interesting. Let's keep that in mind, right? You can theory craft all we want right now, but we really won't know how it'll be until we're just here for ideas, right? Yeah. So another thing you could do is like, let's say they have Raleigh, and then you're all saying, okay, I'm gonna pull up Bicera. Okay, now they have to ban the Bicera, right? But now you get another pick. I'll pull up a Solitaria. Now that Raleigh is a dead weight, right? He can still do a lot of damage, but the fact that he cannot solo potential carry no more means it's a big deal, right? Usually the way people play Raleigh is that they need him to fully solo carry the game. Now the fact that Raleigh can't solo carry no more changes everything, right? That's why I say she won't be extremely important. She's not gonna be your first pick overall game-changing unit, but the fact that she'll be an insane last counter, it's like Dilibet, right? Dilibet's only picked for one reason, but this unit has a couple of reasons you can pick her, right? I believe that she will be quite usable. You'll see her quite frequently as a counter pick. So if you have the resources and you feel like you have troubles with Raleigh and SSBs and you don't mind pitting something right now or pulling for a unit, I think Solitaria is a unit that you could go for. Me personally, I don't have much resources, but I'm definitely gonna try pull for her, right? If I get her, it's amazing because I'm 100% sure I could build this unit and use this unit. Alright, and then the last thing we're just gonna check is our modifiers. Their modifiers ain't that insane because I'm gonna say she's more of a support unit. But her attack power is like 0.8 for S1 and 1.8 for S3. Not insanely strong. In general, I think if you want to use this girl, use her as just a support unit. It'd be cool to see people make her super fast and just play around with it, but it might be inefficient if you do that, right? Alright guys, let's watch the skill animation one more time. Solitaria of the Snow. Alright guys, this is Melon's first unit showcase. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys have any questions about it, just like the video, leave a comment down below. I'll always answer your comments, man. You know me. Anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed. Have a good day. Take care. I'll see y'all later.